This shit.
Yeah, actually, the hotel, um. By the way, we are live right now, but we just keep talking until people start showing up.
Oh
But
god.
yeah, the hotel actually was the hotel actually the the internet connection was pretty bad.
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah, I was kind of worried that if I had to do something over there, it would not work because I was on the internet there and it kept like freezing in. And if it's not common in Japan at all, the internet here is pretty good, pretty stable, but not not at the hotel that I was.
That was
Yeah.
cool how you just used the card. It was just a card to open up everything.
Oh
Like
yeah, the
even
hotel. Yeah,
even to turn the light on, right? You just put the card on and then the light turns on.
yeah. You put
That
in
yeah,
this.
that,
It's a slot, and then it switch on the whole electro part of um the room. Yeah.
yeah,
If you
that's
don't have
cool.
that card, you cannot switch on anything.
Right.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, it
Really
is.
interesting.
It is, man. It is. It is pretty cool. I mean, kind of high tech thing. Kind of.
Right. Right. Not your
Jap-
normal per se hotel entryway.
True. Yeah. Japan like to use their technology in things like that, hotels and entertainment and service. But when it comes to work, they don't use much technology. It's like old style. They still using like machines to send documents from one place to the other place. Yeah,
Really? Wow.
crazy, right?
Yeah, that's pretty interesting.
When it comes to things like that, they're pretty much like old style.
Right. Do
For
they
you to
still
have an
have
idea, so,
I'm sorry?
no, I was going to say for you to have an idea, like when I moved to Japan, so I was looking for a job, and so when I found places that I had when I was like in a magazine or whatever, and they're like, okay, just send your resume. I was like, all right. So which email should I send to? He said, oh no, can you fax your resume? I was like, fax? I was like, I don't know how to use the fax machines because not fax machines like they stopped using fax machine in Brazil before it became an adult. So I don't
Yeah.
know how to use.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever used a fax machine either.
Yeah. Yeah, right?
I've used it to copy, but not to fax anything out.
Yeah.
I've actually
Yeah.
called a fax before. Like I call a business and then I think it's the right number, but it's the fax machine number. So you just get like a loud
Yeah.
ring
Yeah, it's
on
really
accident.
strange, man. And not on the top of that, they prefer you to uh I mean right hand I mean write down your resume not by typing on the computer. They ask you to actually write down because like your handwrite it's very important. They can see your personality through your handwrite
I
in
like
Japan.
that. I like
That's
that.
that's crazy, right?
It's been some years. It's been some years that I don't fill out an application. I say like if the job requires me to fill out an application, I don't want to work there. But I mean, a resume, eesh, like that's strong words. But I like the fact that they would rather have you do a handwritten resume
Yeah.
because it makes a lot of sense. Like sometimes I feel like people can write a really good resume on a computer and make themselves look really, really, really good. But when it comes down to performance, it's like, he, you can't do the trick. No hace la manobra. Like they can't perform. So it's like, okay. But yeah, I like that. I like that whole idea of writing your resume handwritten.
Yeah, it's a thing here, man. If you come to Japan, you really have to know how to write everything. I keep writing things everywhere you go here. You have to write your name, your address, your phone number. They don't fill up anything for you. You got to do yourself. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, we got some people in the chat already. I think your mate Justin Fisher, PMB.
Oh, Dusty, let's go.
Yeah,
Dusty's a really good supporter. Shout
yeah.
out to Dustin.
And we have Rodrigo Lagoa, which is my friend from childhood, and he is pretty influent in the scene as well. He used to work for ESPN, Rodrigo.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he was like those reporters and how do you call it, video reporters? I don't know if you had that in. Did you have those sort of things in the US? Because in Brazil it was pretty common to have a video reporter, which was like a dude with a camera and also filming
Yeah,
himself and also yeah.
yeah,
So there
yeah.
was one for skateboarding, there was one for BMX, and there was Rodrigo for inline skating. So he was responsible for that. Yeah,
Nice, nice.
yeah,
Yeah,
Rodrigo.
they
Yeah.
had they had those at the time,
Mm.
but they've just gotten rid of more personnel as time goes by, right?
Yeah, he did right. Yeah, Rodrigo's Lagoa. Lagoa was a big one. Yeah.
Nice.
Um. All right. We started.
Let's go.
Let's go. I'm not drinking Sapporo tonight. I'm drinking Asahi. Asahi is
Asahi
good too.
dry.
Yeah. Super dry. Super dry. Yeah.
I
You
tried.
guys
I
have
tried. I've tried that one before.
Yeah. You like it?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know, man. I changed. No longer Sapporo. Now my favorite one is Asahi. I'm sorry, man. It keeps changing, right? Like every
Yeah,
year, it's a different beer. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Like skates. I don't like those skates no more. I'm gonna switch over to different skates now.
True. Yeah. It depends how you feel, especially as you get older. Like the way you skate changes a little bit, so you change the skates as well.
Right.
Talk, Talking about that, let's talk about before we start watching the movie. Let's talk about you, man. About you, like how you start skating, and you know how long you've been skating and where you located.
Okay. Well, I'm located in California in Riverside County, which is maybe like half an hour from Santa Ana from them skates.
Okay.
Um, but I'm pretty much like in the middle of nowhere as far as like there's no one to really skate with. I either have to go west or I have to go east. But where I'm located, the only person that lives around me is Becky Sotelo.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, she's really good. So shout outs to Becky. But other than that, like I think just yesterday, I mean, sorry, like maybe like a couple weeks ago, I saw one rollerblader, but it was an older man, and like he was just using it for transportation wise, which is really cool. I do that sometimes too, just to go to the store. I use it as an excuse just to put my skates on. Um, yeah, so there's not really many people to skate around here with. Um, I started skating as a kid. Um, I want to say like late 90s, late 90s. Um, but it was more recreational. It was, I guess, before any type of aggressive skates that were available to anybody. So it was just mainly recreational. Um, then, as the years kind of went by, Mighty Ducks came out. Airborne, um, all those good ones, the OG classic ones, and I guess that's when I guess we started having grind plates available to us. So it my first skates were like the Rollerblade brand, the brand Rollerblade. Those were the very first skates that I got from my friend Justin. His younger bro. I was always everybody's younger brother's size because of my size. I'm shorter, so all my friends were always taller. Their little brothers were my size. So everything their little brothers didn't use, like I could use. Like his little brother didn't like to skate. And he was like, "Hey, have you ever skated?" I was like, "I quad skated. I first quad skated with my aunt Lucia at a skating rink in Tijuana. I'm born in Tijuana. All my life, I lived in San Diego, and just recently, I came over here to Riverside County, still in California. And so, as a first quad skated in Tijuana, And then my friend Justin asked me, "Have you ever skated?" I said, "Yeah, I've quad skated. I never tried on inline skates like ever." So that was the first time that I ever put on inline skates was with my friend Justin, his little brother Brandon skates that fit me. So he asked his mom. He was like, "Hey, mom, can he borrow my skates?" And it was like, "Yeah, you could use the skates." Um, Little enough, I get to keep the skates. Like they didn't. He didn't use them. They didn't want them. They seen how much fun we were having, and they're like, "Yeah, he can have them." Um, long story short, on those skates, a dog bit him. Like one time, I left them outside, and the house dog, um, he bit the skates up, and I was like, "Oh man!" Like, so I couldn't skate for a while. I'm just remembering all these things now that you're asking me. I'm kind of running back on it, and I got some other rollerblade brand skates, but these were more like the M12 shell, per se,
Mhm.
like that model, the
Yep.
one that has the little fin on the back for to do your awesome soul grinds back in the day.
Yep.
I never got the CDS Detroit plate.
Oh, really? You never did?
No, no, because everything I got as a kid, like it was all just given stuff to me. Like my grandmother wasn't ever gonna buy me skates or buy me parts. It was just stuff that I would see on magazines. Like
Hmm.
Team Paradise was a magazine that we would get, which was just like Roller Warehouse or like Inline Warehouse nowadays,
Hmm.
where
Yep.
but on a magazine form.
Yeah.
And
With all the products and whatever's happening, yeah.
yeah, yeah. And we would spend at least an hour just looking at the magazine and then going back to it and then looking at it again. It was funny now to think about it.
It
But
is, right?
yeah, it was like
Because
a,
you're
a
talking about the media nowadays, it's so like a you see something and then you just something next is coming up, so it kind of everything just goes quickly. And back in
like
the
a
day, it
video,
was like, yeah, it goes quickly. But when back in the days, the magazine, so you just keep flipping back the magazines, the pages, and looking the same thing all the time, all over and over again. But
right?
nowadays it can happen and just like, you see something on the internet and then like next day you don't want to see something else and just keep going, keep things keep coming
Yeah.
going,
It
right?
it and sometimes it moves by itself, right? Like you don't even have to click it; it just moves by itself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So I
The
guess like
timeline. Yeah.
yeah, I guess when we would have the magazine, we were making the video, right? Like, oh, let bring the rewind the video, or let's watch
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
video again. So you watch the magazine
Yeah.
one more time. Yeah, that was great. So CDS Detroit's grind plates. I I I got the very fat grind plates. They weren't the regular size. There was one that was almost like double the size, and my friend couldn't put them on his skates. He had K2s.
Hmm.
Um, he couldn't put them on his skates, so he gave them to me. I just put extra longer screws so that I was able to, fit them. I always found a way, Lalau. I always found a
Yeah.
way
Yeah. Yeah.
to make my stuff work. Like I didn't have any anti rocker, so I grinded my plates. I grinded my wheel down with a bench grinder at home. Like
Hmm. Yeah.
so I always would come up with things just to be part of the crew. I skated with five guys. It was my friend
Hmm.
Tonio, my friend Jose, my friend Ivan, and my friend Arnie. And each person would have like their own little quality that we would kind of call them certain names per se. Like one of my friend Jose, we call him Lurch because he was big like Lurch. He did style like Lurch. So anytime Jose did a trick, we would be like, "Oh, Lurch, Lurch." Everyone had a little thing like that. It was fun. It was really fun. So
Yeah, the crew is the best thing, right? Like everyone has their own nickname in the crew, right?
yeah,
Like this
like
guy right now, we're talking about like Rodrigo Lagoa. Lagoa, it
yeah,
means lake.
right,
And
Lagoa.
first, yeah, first time I saw him, um, he didn't have, obviously he didn't have a nickname. He just called Rodrigo. and then he was just 14 years old, and then I was also 14 or 15. Now I'm 44. So that was like back in 90 95, I think 94. So first time I saw him, he had this huge like kind of lazy legs. Those lazy legs or boneless knee pads, but it was
Okay.
something else that time, yeah. And he was very skinny and like he really looks like really young. And we thought he was like 9 years old, but he was like 14, you know. And then we was just skating around in the neighborhood, and then he said, "No, now I gotta go home. I gotta go to the main road and get a bus back home." And we're like, "Which bus you gonna get?" He said, "Oh, to Lagoa Santa. Lagoa Santa is the next city." I was like, "You going? Why are you going to Lagoa Santa?" He said, "Oh, I live in Lagoa Santa." And then from that moment, he became Lagoa. You know, like the nickname
That's
became
not his
Lagoa.
last name. I thought it was
No,
his
it's just
last name.
no, it's just like because where he lived, and the guy like he was just so young, and it's like 14 years old, getting like buses that go from one city to the other one. He just came to our city to skate by himself. Yeah, at
Well,
14,
it,
yeah.
what I thought that was kind of like a common thing to like say that your last name or your second acquired name would be like where you're from. Like if you were from Lima, you would be like, oh, like Luis Ronaldo Nazario de Lima.
Yeah, it's pretty long name, right?
That's Ronaldo, el fenómeno.
Yeah,
My favorite. That's my
player.
favorite soccer player.
Yeah, he's good, man. He's good. But
Yeah,
yeah, I
so
mean, we got nicknames for everyone. Like,
yeah, we had and they were all from this video, because this was the first video we watched or I watched. So make my daily routine. So all our characters were pretty much based on the people
mhm.
that came out on the video because that's what we knew. That's what we were fed, like
Okay,
um
okay.
because of lack of social media and all that stuff. I mean, I didn't know about this video until maybe 8th grade. Like,
Hmm.
yeah, I think 7th or 8th grade, which would have been middle school. That's the first time I watched it.
Yeah, it came out in 96, by what it
Like,
says here.
okay,
Maybe
yeah,
just
so
right after Most Knuckles. Maybe
most,
Most
yeah,
Knuckles was in
after,
Most Knuckles
right,
was end of, yeah. I think Mr. Most Knuckles came in the end of 95, beginning of 96, I think.
right,
That was, yeah, one of the very first, well, I mean, the very first movie that I watched was
moose knuckles.
That Where, the
Okay,
VG1. But then right
okay,
after I watched Hulk's one, and I think Most Knuckles was one of, no, 18 Days VG2 was I think one of the very first one. But I didn't like much VG2. I don't know why. 18 Days they called.
okay.
But I
Yeah, so
really
we
so
never
well.
watched we never really watched any of the VGs because of where we were located. Like, again, lack of communication within community or no social media. Like that was what East Coast. So, or I would call it a little bit more East Coast, right? But yeah. So all we knew was just what we had down in our area in San Diego. So it to touch back on what we were talking about, what skates I was on, which was the regular rollerblade with grind plates, and I told you I never got the CDS Detroit
Hmm.
plate. Um, but after that, I was able to get the USD Cyrus, the John Julios. I know a lot of people don't like those skates, but those were my favorite skates. They just fit like so good.
Which one?
The USD Cyrus.
Outsiders. Yeah, not much people like those ones. They say it's pretty heavy.
Yeah, I like them. Like it just fit like really good on the foot.
Hmm.
And yeah, so I had those for a while, and then I got the Solomon, the non UFS. This is all non UFS
Hmm.
system skates, and I I stopped skating for years, and just recently, let's say maybe 3 years ago, um,
Hmm.
I wanna like feel like there was just something missing, like I'm good, I'm alive, um, we're here. but there was just something missing that I was like, what's missing in my life, you know? And lo and behold, I hear that John Julio has his own skate out. And I mean, telling you that one of my last skates was the Cyrus John Julio edition. John Julio is my favorite rollerblader all time, hands down, no questions
Hmm.
asked. So when I found out that he had his own company out now, and it's fairly close to where I'm at, I was like, this is it, you know, like this is it. I saw a Charlie Chaplin quote that said, "When you're going to do something, don't say anything. You know, just do it, accomplish it, move on to the next one, and keep going." And I found it so interesting that Charlie talked to me because Charlie Chaplin never talks. In all his movies, he's always just quiet. I've never heard him say a word. I don't even think I know what he sounds like. But just seeing that quote, it just spoke to me so much that
Yeah.
the next day in the morning, I just got on the bus and went straight to them skates. And luckily, John was there. I walk in and I see John for the first time, and I'm like, oh wow, you know, like this is amazing.
I got a story about John next when you finish. It was funny too.
Okay,
Like, go ahead. Yeah.
okay, so yeah, I get there and I'm just like, John, and he looks at me like, who are you? You know, like, and I give him my whole life story in a couple minutes. Up until I can start to see that he's kind of like, okay. So I'm like, all right, I'm here to buy skates. You know, I want the I want black with white sole plates and white frames, and I want intuition liners. And he's like, Parker was there. Him and Parker were there, and Parker's like,
Mm.
I like when somebody comes in and knows what they want. And I'm like, cool, you know, like so they start working on my skates, and we're here now. You know, like
Yeah.
it's been so amazing after doing that and just reaching out to so many people that have reached back out to me. You know, for
Mm.
example, you, I see Tree is there, Spooks, Dustin, all these people who in the rollerblading community had just been so open arms. Has been so amazing. You know, so I'm just grateful to be here right now, and muito obrigado um, for having me here. You know, like this is awesome.
Yeah, I want to take this opportunity and just like thank you for day one, man. You've been just really supporting us and just like, I think I think when episode one or two or three, I mean, I think two or three, you already got in touch with us and start like having a conversation and starting posting about Chunkan in your account, and we really appreciate that support. And I mean, it's surprising for us to for that. And taking I mean, Tree saying he's asking, was blading popular in your area growing up? I think he's asking about you. But you mentioned that um there was no one around you, right? There was just a group
Well,
of
here
five.
here right now, no. Here right now,
Oh,
no. But I'm sure he's asking like when I was growing up, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, like when I was growing up, it was very popular, like in my
yeah,
area. Like everyone, almost everyone I knew had rollerblades because we would play hockey a lot. I'm pretty sure Mighty Ducks was a really big influence. Um, you know,
yeah.
as time grew by, but that was a big introduction for just rollerblading in general to be available to a lot of kids in my area.
One another thing that is cool is just like what Lagoa is saying right now, right? Like he's mentioned about basic you that you being there, you having the perspective of someone that's being US and seeing all the boom of inline skating during the 90s and the 2000s. We were in Brazil, right? So we grew up in Brazil and loving skating, but we have all our influences were coming from the tapes or the magazines. There was
Yes,
no the influence. What was, how can I say, the influence that we had was from, we had to wait for it. It would take like 6 months to find out that what's going on in US, So the things were pretty different. And it's interesting to know someone like you that were present to when all these things happened. Especially about the right now. Um, so much thing was happening in '96 or '97. So much thing like skating was evolving so quickly during that time. And so, how was during this time? Did you actually meet Bryan Bell? Did you skate with him, or did you see people skating around?
So so to touch up on what Rodrigo said, I think we got fed almost the same type of information that you guys got fed, as far as like time wise. Like, I want to say, yeah, it did take months for us to even know about something, and it would take one of the um, one of the homies in the crew to actually have that magazine, because if that person didn't have it, we would never know about it. So it was like the trickle effect to get the type of information that we needed did take a while. you know
Okay.
um and I'm sorry, what was your question on?
Mm. Well, yeah. How was it for you to? I mean, you just mentioned about you just have to rely on someone to also get like magazines and videos to be update to what's going on. For example, Royals, right? When Royals came up, it was maybe end of '95, beginning of '96. I'm not sure, but what I heard it was I don't come from a big city in Brazil, like it's kind of a third or fourth city. The
Hmm.
biggest one is São Paulo. So one of my friends went to São Paulo for a contest, and he came back and he said, people just doing grinds like this, and he just kind of twists his legs in a one way that looks like a royale with the 2 feet together, but royale,
Hmm.
and that's how they're doing grinds nowadays. And back that time, we just had like soul grinds, front sides, acid, misus. There was no groove tricks yet. So he came back from this contest, and he was just saying like, yeah, people just doing grinds like that, and he was trying to explain to us what he saw, you know.
Right.
But why the way he explained, he put his 2 feet together and just kind of twist a little bit, so it looked like a royal but with the 2 feet together, right? So that was my first time my somebody told me there was a royal. He didn't even know the name. So before I could see a royal, I was trying to do a royal that this guy was trying to explain to me how was it. You know what I mean?
With the feet together.
Yeah, I was like, how can we do that? It's not even physical possible. Like physically possible. How can we? It's not possible. And on top of that, we thought it was just pretty strange. It didn't make any sense. So just trying to give you an idea how late we were when it comes to like innovations and new tricks. We just have to be like I said, we just have to wait for someone to go somewhere or overseas or to a big city like Sao Paulo, or magazines or videos. But like you say, maybe it happened the same to you too, because like you say, like if one of your mates, one of your crew members didn't have the magazine or didn't go anywhere and see the new tricks, you also guys wouldn't know what's going on, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well, with the crew I hung out with, they were they were a little bit older than me, so
Hmm.
I would have maybe 1, 2, 3 years ahead of me, that they already knew stuff. So I mean, I guess that helped out a bit, but also just having so many people that skated around us, like it was just visible. You would just be able to see people a lot of the times skating out on the street with their own crews, by
Yep.
themselves. Just by themselves, their own crew, their own spot, and most of the time we wouldn't bother them, or we wouldn't get too close to them or skate the same spot. We wouldn't skate the same spot with another crew,
I see.
just because I don't know why we just didn't. Which is funny. That's how I got to skating with another crew the same way. We would see each other's crews sometimes and close by. And one time, one kid asked me, he's like, "Hey, you should come skate with us." We called them, the Razors crew, because they all had the Razors creams, um, with the white shirt under and the black shirt on top, so you could see like a little bit of white coming out. You know, you wear
Yeah, yeah,
double shirts,
yeah, yeah.
so they look just like the Razors team, and they were really good. And we would
And
call them
and
the
and light jeans.
and light jeans, that light blue jeans or
Yeah, I that
cream, right?
I
Sometimes you would wear like khaki jeans or
yeah,
khaki.
yeah. I wrote I used to skate like that too.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't have to, but like I would not I would not dress like that because I wouldn't want to be confused with the other crew. But once
Okay, okay.
they kind of accepted me to come skate with them, then I kind of had to dress like them, because if I didn't dress like them, that would look different, right? So
You know, it's funny to hear you saying that because um that what I say I used to dress like that because that's how I saw on the videos on the magazines, right? But there was
yeah,
no anything um there was nothing that would stop me to do that. Like you say, like you don't want to look like the other crew, so you don't belong to that crew, so you don't want to dress like them. So there is like like kind of regional, like a local thing, like like oh, I don't belong to that area, so I don't belong to that
yeah,
crew. So I wouldn't. There was more like a more to that, right? There was like a local culture
right,
influencing the way you dress over there. But there was not that in Brazil, so we just pretty much we didn't have that. The only thing we had was people dressing like that on the magazines and on the
right,
videos, and we always dress like that. So sometimes I would just being with my crew, and we all dress like that. And if you go to other places and other part of the cities, time to time you bump into a different crew that you never seen before,
yeah.
and they'll be dressing the same way. You know what I mean?
Well, it's a we got influenced. That's how we would get influenced, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah, yeah,
we would try to somewhat mimic what we would see on magazines or we would see on videos, and that was kind of like our style. And that brings kind of like a good comment. Um, so when I would skate with kind of the Razors team guys, um, they weren't part of Razors, but
yeah, yeah.
that's what we call them,
That's
right?
right. Yeah, yeah.
Um, there'd be times when Bryan Bell would be filming with, I want to say, Chris Haffey. So we'd be skating close by, and one of the guys would say like, "Oh, look, Brian's filming for Chris Haffey." But Chris Haffey would be like a new name back then, and
Yeah, I know.
touching back to the what we knew or what we got fed or what social media we got. I didn't know who Chris Haffey was. It was like, or Chris Haffey was not Chris Haffey,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Chris Haffey we know now. It was more like, oh, okay, that's cool, because Brian would just be filming all the time. That was his deal.
yeah, yeah. He always be
So
filming anyone, someone, right? He
yeah,
always be
yeah.
filming someone.
So it wasn't weird or different to hear, oh, he's filming so and so, or he's filming this, or he's filming that. But then again, we knew that we shouldn't get close because he's filming. So Brian lived in the next town up from me. He lived in
Hmm.
National City. I lived in Chula Vista. Or his area was more National City. Mine was Chula Vista. And
Hmm.
I mean, it's only a couple miles away, but
Hmm.
it's just the fact of having that different name. You kind of don't go to certain areas,
I
and
see.
especially like in the early '90s or late '90s, when there was more like I want to say like gang activities.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
kind of didn't want to go so you didn't get in trouble. You know,
You see a lot of that on his videos, right? Brian's Bell videos were just showing the culture like raw, the way it was around him, right? There was no
right?
filter
And
at all.
and that was like the same thing that me and my friends did. Like we liked breakdancing, we liked hip hop, we liked graffiti, we liked rollerblading. So to watch a video like this was just like, what the heck? Like, for those
Mhm.
people that don't know, MDR is an actual tagging crew, a graffiti crew.
That was my
like,
my daily routine, or just the initials.
well, are they called acronyms? Like whatever you make out of it? No,
I
not
think.
no, right? I don't know what they're called, but like you know how there's my daily routine and then there's making dreams reality.
Oh,
There's
I see. I think it.
there's there's different things that crew made for MDR. So MDR
Hmm.
stands for whatever you want it to stand for. Whatever you can come up, whatever your creativity can come up with, and come up with something different, you write
Hmm.
it. And it's like, oh, that's cool. Oh, that's cool. So
Hmm.
if I'm not mistaken, I've heard Larry Lurch say that Brian would always take ideas like that and take them and put them in his videos.
Hmm.
And even Lurch would say that, Brian, why are you putting that in the video? That has nothing to do with rollerblading. And Brian would be like, nah, but I like it. It's cool. And it was
Yeah.
cool. It was really catchy, and
Hmm.
a lot of the influence as far as like the dressing, the music, um, just the style of rollerblading, like it all came from this one video that a lot of people, not only me that would lived in San Diego, but people all over the world got influenced by it. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
No, I used to be hooked on his videos, man. I used to watch the videos that I watch all of. Yeah, it was mostly daily routine that I keep watching and watching again and watching, and I don't know why. I think just because they would show like people that were not famous, or people that just like a just person
hometown.
that, yeah, pretty local. It just feel like pretty local. It feel more realistic, more close to
Yeah,
you. And
yeah,
people
and
do
and
trick that you could do tricks. Oh, I can do that trick. Let me try that trick too. And you feel like that, not
exactly.
in a way, like that spot. I have a spot similar to that here back home where I live, so it kind of related to that, kind
and
of. You know
and
what I mean?
and you're 100% right, because that's exactly how I felt, or we felt. It's like, this is from
Hmm.
our hometown. This is us. This is what we do.
Yeah.
There's a couple of spots that I've actually been to.
Hmm.
Actually, one of the schools, Castle Park High School, Ernie Valerino. That's where he breaks his pager. I don't
Hmm.
know. We'll see it right now, but he breaks the pager and he goes, "Oh, don't worry, girls. I'll get a new one." He does he does
Pager.
yeah, he does a handrail, and that
Yeah.
handrail, that's in Castle Park High School. I went to that school. Or a lot of these places, they were just close by, so
Yep.
we would literally skate to the spots and say like, "Oh, this is where Brian did this, or this is where Lurch did that." Like you said, I can do that, or I can try and do that. It's
Yeah.
already here. I mean, back then maybe some tricks weren't as extreme or as difficult, or
True.
because it was all starting. It was all maybe like the Genesis era of like rollerblading. So
Yeah.
it was more like, I can do this. So
Yeah.
yeah, that
Yeah.
that you're right. Like there's so much about this that kind of did influence on everyone and a lot of us.
Yeah. Exactly. And yeah, I used to watch it. I've been to places. I don't know. I don't remember right now, but I one of the first movies that I watched, like I say, Hawks One, was the
Yeah.
second movie that I watched that really impacted me. I went to a lot of places in Santa Monica that was shot that movie, and being the places like that, it's oh, that's where Arlo did a 360. Oh, that's where Chris Adams that did the first like handrail, in Santa Monica. I've been to those places, and it just like you feel like, yeah, I want to skate kid too, but then if you fast forward to mind games or leading the blind, all the place, like, yeah, man, I'm not that kind of person. I cannot
Yeah,
just,
right.
I cannot. It cannot be like Petland on jumping from one level of a building and go to the next level of the building through the elevator hole. And it's like, yeah, that's not for me. It's nice to watch that, but it cannot relate to that. Like
Right.
those huge stunts. And maybe
Oh yeah.
that's why rollerblade got a little bit out of touch for people that wanted to start rollerblading, because it just gets so far ahead, so much evolved, so much like high level, that people that just watching it, it's just like, man, that's way it looks like it just looks like something that you can never achieve. You know what I mean?
Right, right. And I think that that's one thing that Ricardo Lino has talked about in his videos, as far as like he does stuff for that type of audience, so that people can actually be like, hey, I can do that, because you're right. Like, you see a video like Mind Game or Brain Fear Gone or any type of those videos, and you're like, wow, like, I don't think I will ever be able to do what he does.
Yeah.
It looks
Yeah.
really good, but man, like, yeah, I think the style of I mean, the progression just took off so fast at one point. That we went from grind plates to non-UFS skates to UFS skates now. Like, that whole era just went really quick, which is good. But then
Yeah.
again, yeah,
It was crazy. If you see like a yeah, Hawks was in 94, and then 94, 95, and then 5 years later, Mind Game, which just looks like a different sport,
yeah,
evolved so quickly, especially when the skate design changed. When once they the UFS came, and then they figured out that the basics of the skate is like boot, the shell, and sole plate and frame. The sole plate became huge, and then you be able to slide well, like groove, like a as a royale or as a torque slide or as a perfect nuggin, whatever. Because before you couldn't slide well with the skates, you couldn't grind as fast. If you got a skate that like Salomon, for example, everything was on the boot, so you wouldn't be able to, to you wouldn't be able to do a torque slide with Solomon's as good as with Razors. You know what I mean? Razor
yeah,
skates has a proper sole plate in a back slide. So I think once the skates got to the proper design, I would say the proper design, and things start to evolve so quick because people started, okay, so it's easier now to do the grinds. Yeah, okay, I don't have to bend my knees so much to do royals or torque slides or top sides. And then they took that things to the like
yeah.
rooftop,
Like,
right? Yeah, if people just doing grinds on the rooftops and and jumping from everywhere and doing the crazy disasters,
yeah, like
even
a royale with back in the day skates, you have to put the boot down. My friends would say, if it's not boot down, it don't count. If it's not booty, it don't
yeah,
count.
yeah,
So
yeah,
you
yeah, yeah.
you know like you said, you have to bend your knees more, or you have to, or do what Tree does, and not buckle the skate as much. Just one click, two clicks, and
Yeah, but
just
back in
bend
the
it
day, that
down.
was that was the thing. Like, the skates were so difficult for you to do a boot down because people just, you gotta boot down, you gotta touch the boot, But
Yeah,
nowadays, people wouldn't say that because it's not that difficult because the sole plate is huge. It's like it's not a plate anymore; it's a table. I tell my friends, you got a
yeah. It
table
was
on your
it
knee.
it was so different, skating a nowadays skate versus what I remember skating back then. Like, I mean, yeah, it's evolved so much, but it's
It did.
great. It's great.
Oh, it is great. Yeah, well, I'm not complaining about that. I think you're not too. You're not complaining about that. I think what we talking about here is just like we also have to have something that is relatable to people that wanted to start skating. You cannot just
Yeah,
make like a Superman things, like Brian Sheeman, Chris Harper, Jeff Stockwell. Those
yeah,
guys are not human. Alex Brosco, these guys are just like not human. So if you see these people skating, yeah, it's nice to see. It's like, oh yeah, I can see what you can do on rollerblades, But then I don't think it's actually like you won't make anyone come into the sport. So you have to have
right,
something relatable, more easy to do, more enjoyable, and less painful, I guess, less risky,
right.
less risky, right? Yeah. But yeah, man. All right, we gotta start with the movie, right? That's where we came here from, for right? Just all right, yeah. Okay. Let me just change this here to make it a little bit bigger. Um. All right. So this is my daily routine. TBTV. What's TB stand for, man? Do you know?
T-Bone, T-Bone,
Oh yeah, yeah, T-bones.
T-Bone Films. Do
All right, I didn't
you're
know that.
Yeah,
I know. Yeah,
T-Bone
T-bones
Films,
did.
right?
Yeah, they did. They did Hulks, and they did what else?
I
the
want to say
crest
it
of
was like the competition of VG.
yeah.
You know, like East Coast had VG, West Coast had T-Bone Films. So it's T-Bone TV Volume 1.
So VG was East Coast, you say?
I per se.
Okay.
Like I'm
All
not
right.
trying to cause any division or say like a Tupac Biggie East Coast West Coast, but yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like that's why we probably never I never really watched a lot of VG movies because that was not in our area or not in our town or not on our side of the states.
I see. Oh, I didn't
Yeah,
know there was that too. Do you know what I was watching today? I was watching something that popped up on YouTube for me. The finals of ASA Pro Tour Amateur finals in I don't know where, but there was this guy, this filmmaker. He made a documentary about like East Side and West Side skaters. I don't know if you have
really,
ever seen that. Yeah,
I have
he
not.
called his name is what's the name of the most famous BMX Hoffman?
David Hoffman?
Yeah,
No,
he has the
Matt
same
Matt
name.
Matt
Matt
Hoffman.
Hoffman. He has the same name, and he has a YouTube channel called also Matt Hoffman, and he does like
Oh,
documentaries about the '90s. And so he filmed like a one part of the crew was filming the Senate
hmm.
amateur team, and the other part of the film of the crew was filming the FR team.
I
You know,
think I've seen this. The
yeah,
All the Disla brothers, right?
yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I mean, I've seen the whole documentary a while ago, but today it just pop up on my YouTube feed, and I watched
yeah,
just the part of the finals. The
yeah.
US.
I want to say I've seen a part of it because I think you have to pay to watch the whole thing.
Oh,
But
really?
yeah, I'm not
Oh,
sure. Maybe you should drop it in the link so we could watch it later or something. But
sure, sure.
one last thing, Lala, I wanted to say about this movie is that I think it's so cool nowadays that there's still some of these guys that are available on Instagram, and I actually chat with them too. Like Lurch, like Ernie Valerino, Louis Zamora.
Yeah,
Some of these people they're still around, and it's so cool just to like go from watching this as a kid to now actually meeting even some of these people in real life as a grown up.
that's the best part, right?
Yeah,
Right. Like when we talked to Chris Edwards, man, for me it was just like I just cannot believe I'm talking to Chris Edwards, you
yeah,
know.
yeah. I
I
was I
remember.
was I was fortunate to meet him at a Blading Cup.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he was the face of sport that was in like crazy I mean there was so many people doing inline skating in the '90s, and he was the face of it,
Right.
and he embraced that. He just like, yeah, okay, I'll take that.
Yeah. He's still a
Some
real
people,
humble person. It's so
yeah,
awesome. It's so awesome to see him and his son Canyon, the Destroyer, skating together, man. Like you see Canyon, and I'm like, where did you learn how to do that? He's like, I don't know. I just learned it. So I think he just has it in his blood. He's a mini Chris. It's so beautiful, man.
mm, yeah, yeah, Chris, man, Chris. Yeah, when I remember going with Fred,
Yeah,
that's my Chanka with me. We
yeah.
went to watch Airborne in the movies. He in
Wow,
Brazil, yeah. We went to the movies to watch, man, the big screen, yeah, to watch Airborne with
wow.
our friends. It was crazy, yeah. It was yeah, it was watching the that time watching a skate movie in the cinema for us was, oh my god, that's something special, yeah. It's really, and then talking to him, like, yeah, he's just a humble guy, yeah, just full on, so accessible. You just send a message to him, he say, yep, let's do it. I was like, I cannot
Right.
believe that, yeah.
Yeah.
And other
The
people, they're not like
Godfather.
that, man. Godfather, yeah.
The
Godfather,
Godfather.
yeah. But yeah, man. All right. So now we know that TB, it's T-Bone Films, right? I
Yes,
didn't know that. Yeah, I think T-Bone also did the quest of the Holy Rail. Have you watched the movie?
I have not.
I think it's around that time, 2000 or not 2000, 96 or maybe 90. I think in 96 or probably yeah around the time. It feels the same. I don't know. I have
Right.
to check, but the vibe is the same. The same
They
sort of.
probably they probably use the
Camp.
same camera.
Yeah, huge. I heard they had huge cameras, because they did that. They also did the Hoax 3, that one that everyone says the Hoax 2, the Bible, the
The
United
Bible.
Bible, like they call, yeah.
Such an iconic,
Anarchy.
such an iconic movie.
I forgot the name of the I forgot the name. Anarchy Across America. Is that the
Anarchy
name of
Across
it?
America. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
speaking
That's
of
the
hoax
name.
two, speaking of hoax two, I want to take the time to say happy birthday to Arlo. Today's his birthday.
Oh, is it?
So
Hey, happy
yeah,
birthday, yeah.
big happy
Hello,
birthday to
man.
you, Arlo.
Dude, hello. Yeah, he was like when I watch sorry we extending our conversation here before we watch the movie, but I think that's okay, right? For
Yeah,
you,
it's
right?
fine. I don't
Yeah.
mind.
When I first watched Dare to Wear, it was like VG1. But it was cool to watch. There was a lot of things that just like blow your mind, mainly because of Chris Edwards. But there was no culture behind it yet. It was just pretty much. It looked like just a no, urban skating on steroids. People just going crazy, jumping cars and jumping, bashing the stairs. It's very fluid. There
Yeah,
was no
very
other thing
raw
than
too.
very raw. Yeah, but then when come Hawks one, and then you could see the culture, and then you could see
Right,
like, oh yeah, that's skating. And for me, right, I mean, maybe probably there was other movies because so many things were happening in 1993. I think Hawks was shot in 93 and then was released in 94. And 93, Daily Bread came out as well. I think the culture started like that. And the person that was the head of it was Alo Eisenberg. They could see, like, you see him, just the attitude,
right.
no pads, no pads. Like, everyone was skating with um, shorts and big knee pads, and then Alo Eisenberg was just like, yeah, no, it's like just these huge pants, trousers, and
Yeah,
no
yeah.
pads, nothing, and just saying, yeah, I'm skating with my soul. And then I think that was the first time I kind of like, oh, that's skating culture, like this, yeah, that's rollerblading, new culture, like new
Attitude
the attitude, yeah, exactly, yeah. It came from Alo for sure.
for
It
sure.
didn't come from Chris, but not saying that in a bad way, Chris, he just he just taught our sport, but I think Arlo brought the culture. I mean,
Correct. I agree.
he was the represent. How can I say? He could represent the '90s culture. Yeah, that's what
And
Arlo Eisenberg.
then we would hear his voice so much on TV. As far as X
Very,
Games,
very
ASAs.
outspoken. Yeah,
Yeah,
very
so
outspoken.
he was the man, still the man. So happy birthday to you, Arlo.
Yeah, he must be like 50s. He looks pretty young though.
Yeah, I think he's more fit than I am. I think he's 50. I'm gonna be 39. I think this month. But yeah, like my due respect to that man. Like he is way fit. For his age. Without due respect.
That's good. Well, I mean, you gotta be fit.
Yeah.
There's this guy called Kazu. I don't know. I put some videos of him on Chanka podcast on Instagram. He does all these like very experimental things. With skating, he was skating shadows. Did you see this video that I put on?
I don't
I don't think you
recall.
did. Yeah, yeah. I mean, he just doing all this very creative stuff. Very creative. And then he looked like 30 in the videos, like 30, maybe 29, 30.
Hmm.
And then I found out he's like over 50. He's like 53, 54.
Wow.
Oh, Tree, he knows Kazu. Yeah, Kazu is a legend, man. Everyone knows Kazu. Yeah, I met Kazu here in Japan, but I kind of heard about him before.
Nice.
Yeah, he's been skating for since the beginning. Yeah, yeah. Probably he was there when people start calling Mizus.
Hmm.
In Japan.
Wow.
Yeah, and yeah, it's a very special dude. This guy is very special, man. Very special. Kazu-san.
Kazuza.
Kazu-san.
Oh,
San is like
Kazu-san.
yeah. San is the, Mister. In Japanese, right?
Correct.
Correct. Yeah. All right, we're gonna start watching. Otherwise, we're never gonna watch this thing.
We're gonna talk all day long.
Yeah, and I mean
All
for
right.
me, it's all night long, right? Um, we.
You see
Let me.
T-Bone Films. You see right there, T-Bone
That's
Films.
true. Yeah. Right. Now it's good. Now I understand. Yeah. Um. Um. Probably Brian was just 16, 17 years old this time, man. Because I was 16 in 2000. No, not 2000. 96. I was 16, 17. You were pretty young doing videos.
I don't think we have
That's
sound.
I think if I put sound,
Oh,
YouTube
you're
will
gonna.
get angry.
Okay. Okay, I get you. I can hear the music already. Don't worry about it. I've seen it so much that I already know what song is playing.
I put the other videos there, and then we watched the other videos, and yeah, people, YouTube were not happy, and they gave me some strikes, not strike, yeah,
A
a
warning.
warning.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
get you.
so I don't know, but that disaster backslide is only with tarmacs, to
Yeah,
hold the
right.
pressure. To hold the pressure, yeah. Look, I mean, he's done the trick yet, the famous trick at this time here. The famous
Who?
trick was in
Lur-
sorry,
who?
the Royale to Aliu Topso
This one?
Lurch. No,
Oh
Lurch,
no
yeah.
no. Oh no no. Lurch. No, not yet. He hasn't done it yet.
He hasn't. I think he did first time that I saw was Mr. Most Knuckles. That I thought. I don't know. Maybe yeah.
He says it switch.
There was Switch.
Yeah, the Lurch one. He says that's his switch.
There was a reason why it was Switch, wasn't
It's probably easier.
it?
What feels easier? Oh, this feels easy. All right.
Maybe because of the spin, right? The way he's gonna spin,
Yeah.
probably. Yeah, yeah. He must have something. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
he said it was a switch over in a trees chat one time. I asked him. I was like, "Hey, is this true?" And he said, "Yeah."
Yeah, man. This video has so much like crazy shit that sometimes I'm afraid to show that in our channel, and then the kids will be watching,
Yeah, I know.
and
Like,
you're gonna
I
be
thought
like,
I
"What?"
I thought about that earlier or yesterday. I was like, "Man, there's gonna be
Mm,
parts that are like not
suitable for.
G-rated, not G-rated."
We were exposed to the oh man these Jaggers, man, Brian. Oh man, this is one of my favorite styles. Yeah,
Yeah, that was the
favorite
first
styles.
time ever seeing Eric Shrine. I was like, "Oh,
Eric Shrine, yeah, Eric Shrine, another legend, man, another
he's
legend. I watched. That's John Julio, right? Yeah, was it
no,
John Julio, right?
no. That was Fernando Montano."
Oh, he just looked like John Julio, exactly like him.
Yeah,
Like he was,
he probably got influenced by John too,
yeah.
with the cargo pants, right? Like the military cargo pants. So look, this is at a courthouse, Lalau. That's the courthouse in Chula Vista. Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
Oh man, the 90s, right?
Correct.
We try to explain what happened in the 90s. It's just hard to explain, right? Why we did those things, It's like, I don't know, man. Louis Zamora.
Yeah. My name is Louis, and this is my crew. We kick ass, and you know we do. Word.
He on K2s this time, right? K2s,
Correct.
yeah. Yeah, that's right. He was in K2, and then he went to Solomon after K2s, yeah.
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 It was amazing meeting Louis and realizing he's shorter than me. I was like,
Well, he looked pretty short. Yeah, he looks pretty short. You can see that. Some people
but
don't.
he can jump so high.
Yeah. Some skaters they look tall, but they're actually not. Like, I don't know. But some skaters they look normal and they're pretty small. Yeah.
Like Scotty Crawford, he looks tall, but in person he's not that tall
Mm.
to me.
Lomax is pretty tall.
Yeah, Lomax is an alien.
He's huge. He's like 6'1" or 6'2". He's huge.
I thought he was 5'12".
Yeah, maybe I don't know.
It's the
Tall.
same as 6 feet, no? But
Yeah. I met him in Japan and he jumps pretty high, right? So I was like, hey man, you jump high because you're tall. You just have to bring your legs up. You don't have to actually jump. Um Nick Pod- Nick Podrick.
Nick
We
Potterick.
used to Podrick, right? In Portuguese, I didn't even know his name. I forgot about it. Podrick.
Oh,
Yeah, I remember him. Yeah, I remember him. He's on this video. Yeah, pretty cool style too. Yeah, that's true.
yeah. I think after a while he went to the military. If in one of Brian's videos, like he he um he says a goodbye to him because he's going to the Nick is going to the military.
Oh, but that was a while ago, right?
Yeah, yeah, that was a while ago. I wonder whatever happened to him.
Cool. Spook is 5'12".
Yeah,
So I
Spooks
guess
is
he's
five
pretty tall
twelve.
too.
He's not 6 feet. That's what he's saying. He's 5'12".
Well, after 5'12", it's what, 6 feet or
It's
five
6 feet. It's like
thirty?
a joke. It's a joke.
It doesn't exist 5'12". That's what he's saying.
I mean, if he wants to say he's 6 feet, I say he's 5'12", just to make him shorter.
Okay, okay. Because I don't know much this measurement. I
You're right.
know I know the metric.
Centimeters. Yeah.
Yeah, it's five. I mean, 6 feet should be like 185 to 180, almost 189, which is pretty tall. Yeah. For example, Michael Jordan, he was 196 centimeters. That's I know.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
And whatever he was, 6'6", 6'5", he is for me. Yeah. Tree's pretty short. He's
He's
420.
420.
Yeah.
420 is Tree's magic number.
Yeah, I don't think you got skates that fit you if you're that small, man. It's just like little skates, right?
He'll make his own skates.
That's true.
There's no stopping Tree.
There is no problem with that. He makes his own.
Yeah.
I mean, what are you gonna make next, Tree? Let's see what he's gonna answer. But yeah, being tall, I think it helps a lot in jumping on skating. But maybe grinding is not that easy if you're tall. That's what I
This is
heard. I don't
one
know.
person I never knew who it was, Lalau.
This guy here
Yeah.
doing the King Rail.
Yeah. He
That
looks
was
like he looks like Arlo, but it could be I don't know, man. I don't know. I always wonder who was that guy. Tree, do you know
that,
who that guy is?
I know this guy is Matt Salerno going nuts. This guy Matt Salerno was going spinny everywhere, man, spinning to any direction.
Yeah, right.
I think this contest is like a B3 contest, There was a contest called B3, like
Okay,
boards, bikes, and blades, and I remember the ramps were like that, different colors, or maybe gravity
gravity
games. I don't
games.
know. Yeah, yeah, those sort of things, and it's hard to to show to kids nowadays.
Why are they doing that?
Oh, he just I guess with that time we were more free, but at the
Yeah,
same time you have a lot. If you have a lot of freedom, man, young people they don't know how to handle freedom
right.
well. They, they don't know how to how to handle freedom well. You go off the rails for sure. Go off the rails, but I think yeah, these
Universal
gravity.
Studios was that in Universal Studios maybe?
I don't know, but I remember there was gravity games and also B3 contest. B3
Okay.
is like boards, bikes, and blades,
Yes, yes.
and one of these two had the ramps with all different colors. So I'm not sure which one it was right there right now, but I think it probably was gravity games. I don't know. There was so many contests, man.
Yeah.
Was so many contests that time. They're like big ones, with good prices, and like I mean, um, and you'll be constant. Like you'll be not only once a year, like nowadays. You'll be like once a month. It'll be a contest somewhere.
Yeah. Thanks to Yoo-hoo, right? The
What do you
drink,
mean?
the chocolate drink. Remember the chocolate drink, Yoo-hoo?
I
It,
do
it
not.
was it was a brand that did a lot of sponsoring ship for events.
Oh,
Like,
okay, I didn't know that.
you
Mountain Dew,
probably
no?
know YOHOO. Yoo-hoo.
Yoo-hoo.
It's a chocolate milk drink.
I don't remember that. I remember
Uh,
they saying uh Mountain Dew brought my Mountain Dew. I remember that, but I don't
Mountain
remember
Dew.
the yeah Mountain
Boy,
Dew.
remember
Yeah,
Gap? It was like Gap,
Gap,
Levi's. Um, I think Taco Bell was in there for
Taco
a
Bell.
long time.
Yeah, Nice. N-
Yeah, yeah,
N- Nice was yeah brought by
yeah,
Taco Bell. I remember that.
yeah.
Yeah, I remember the
But
shirts.
Yoo-hoo, the chocolate milk, that was a big one too.
Yeah.
Tree Tree says that he started drinking chocolate milk or Yoo-hoo because of that.
Oh, really? Oh no, that was Spook, right? No, you. Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know about this chocolate milk thing.
You probably should not drink it, Alau. It's not good for anybody.
Why it's too sweet?
No, it probably has stuff in there we shouldn't be drinking.
I'm sure it is. That's why I stick with beer.
Yeah, it's more natural.
Absolutely, yeah. But man, these places these spots are all in California. Do you recognize any of these spots?
This is a high school right here. Look, this is Chula Vista High School. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
all these places are like within, or not all of them, but most of them are like within 10-mile radius, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
There were
this
so
is
many
still.
places to skate in California, right? Like when I say to skate, like you could just freely skate. No one will bother you, right?
Well, like that last school, you had to jump inside that school. This is the school I went to. This is Castle Park High School.
Yeah, I remember this rail. I never been
Yeah,
to, but I mean, this rail and the previous rail, it's this one. I think, yeah, it's pretty
yeah,
famous, right? That's Ernie.
yes, that's Ernie. Shout out Ernie. He's
He
doing construction work right now. He is a he's a framer. He works with wood. He has his own hammer. He has like a own like he designed his own hammer.
That's good.
His brand is called Earner brand. Like Ernie, Earner brand.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
Not skating at all, right?
Not really, but he did go to Blading Cup this last time because they were going to have the Hoax 2 reunion. So I told him about it, and I convinced him to go.
Oh, really? So he did. He went there.
Yeah, he went to Blading Cup just to check it out. Yeah, he attended. That was cool.
Probably no one recognized him because I saw pictures of him. He looked pretty different, right? Like
He
big
looks
and
very different. Yeah, big beard.
yeah, big beard. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
hard to recognize. Yeah, but yeah, man. I used to do blind back royale because of Ernie. Yeah,
really.
yeah. First time I see someone doing the way. I mean, a lot of people did, but the way he did it, it was very smooth and really like perfect. And I wanted to
Yeah.
just copy that. Yeah, pretty much with oxygen skates. The oxygen skates.
Yeah, yeah.
All the ones. Yeah, yeah,
The heavy ones.
yeah. The moon boot, the astronaut boots ones. They're huge.
I think Neil Selmar has those in this movie, right?
Already?
I think so. I
Oh
wanna.
yeah, no, that's right. Yeah, yeah, 97 there. Yeah, 97. That's true. That's true. Yeah, 97. Yeah, 97. There was like um oxygen's argon 3.1 or
Aragons.
oh,
Yeah.
I think it's argons, no, not aragons. I
Oh,
thought it
yeah,
was
argons.
argon.
Yeah, no, argons.
Argons. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. There was one that was 1.1 and 3.1. One has like a bigger wheel. The other one was a shorter wheel. Yeah, yeah. Those were good skates. Have you skate them? Have you tried them?
No, I have not.
That here it is three. What's his name? Nick Pudrick, right? Is that his name?
Yes. Yeah, Nick.
Nick Pudrick. Fast light. Rodrigo Lala. Remember we used to khaki pants just like the Ernie's? Yeah, we did. Yeah, we used to have those huge pants, like like it was huge. It was like 1970s pants, like huge. I
Yeah.
don't know how they call. We
Bell bottoms.
The bell bottoms, yeah. We have. It's funny that we have the same way to say in Portuguese. Boca de sino.
Really?
Yeah. Bell bottoms, yeah. We used to have those ones, man. And no one was wearing that back in Brazil, right? Obviously. And then you'd go to skate, and then you come back like with the skates in your bag, but he's still wearing the bell bottoms, like
Yeah.
pants, and walking around, and people just look at you like, what the fuck? Who the fuck's
Yeah.
this guy? You
You know, the corduroy.
No, what's that?
It's a style of pants, like the corduroy pants.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. What's style? What's
It's kind of hard to explain, but it has like a bunch of like little like the material, the fabric is not flat. It just has like a
uh
lot of little waves, like little wavy.
hmm
That's the
right?
type of material on the jeans that I had. I had the Jinko jeans, but they were corduroy. They're called corduroy jeans or corduroy pants.
Oh, okay. That's just the how the material was done. That's what you're saying, right?
Yeah, yeah. It's softer,
Yeah.
but they were the Jinko. You remember the Jinko?
I remember the
How the
Jinko brand, the brand,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, Jinko brand. How that was kind of like bell bottom kind of, no,
Yeah, yeah,
like just big loose fit pants.
yeah. I remember. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. The ones I had were like two sizes or three sizes bigger because my taller friend gave them to me. So they looked huge, man. They were huge. Yeah, it reminds me of what you're saying. How you would wear your bell bottom pants, and no one else was wearing those types of pants. So yeah, I was doing the same thing.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like back at that time, like it was a new street fashion was new. So if you're wearing those kind of pants, you were the only one. Only you
Yeah.
and your crew, your friends. But
Yeah.
even the other young people, they would not wear that. It's
They
not
did.
like
Yeah, they didn't.
everyone. It was not like a fashion thing, like especially nowadays. I don't know how it's in the US, but back here in Japan, like a baggy pants, a kind of uh, a trendy nowadays. So people just wearing everywhere, but it's
Yes.
everyone wearing, and it's okay because everyone is wearing. But back in that time, um, no one was wearing that, and if you start wearing that, people just look at you like, "What's wrong with this kid? What's wrong with you know what I mean?" They think you're crazy.
Yes.
My mom was like getting like, "Hey, what are you doing?" Like she she would just not understand at all. She was just like, "What are you doing? Like, why?" She would just ask why. I was like, "There is no reason." So if there is no reason, just don't dress like that. Then
Yeah. Right.
yeah, it's just funny, like how yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say that you need to be a little bit like a don't give a shit to dress like that back in the day. No, it's not like nowadays. Nowadays, everything's acceptable. Back that's not.
It's
It was
cool now.
yeah. It's more freedom, right? And I guess that now with the culture being more acceptable to everything,
Exactly. Yes.
that's one of the reasons why rollerblading is coming back. It's more acceptable. Back that it wasn't. Um, and yeah, I see that. I see this as a plus. Like I mean, the culture being more acceptable nowadays. So you can wear anything you want. You just can be whoever you want to be, and you can do rollerblades. It's fine. Back then, it wasn't. It was just a war to go to, to the skate shop, well, to be to the skate park. You might get
Wearing
in trouble.
rollerblades. Yeah, just because of
Yeah,
rollerblades.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
That's funny.
yeah. It was. Yeah, I think it just made you. I think there was a time where I wouldn't want to say to anybody that I skated, that I rollerblade. I wouldn't hide anything, but I wouldn't say if
Yeah.
people say, "Hey, so what do you do?" I wouldn't bring that thing up. But
Yeah.
before that, when I was younger, when I was like maybe early 20s or late teenager, early 20s, I would be more angry about it, and it would just like like yeah, fuck you, I don't give a fuck. Like the skateboarders, we get
Yeah.
in trouble with we get in fight with skateboarders a lot, a lot, yeah,
Yeah.
and
We have we had a friend, a skateboarder friend, David, that would always say something to us. Always.
mhm.
But he would hang out with us. He was the only skateboarder friend that hung out with rollerbladers. Like, we talked to everybody, but we didn't hang out with everybody in school. I'm talking about in school now. As far as like our group, skating in school and having friends, skateboarding friends, saying something to us. But he was part of our crew too. Like, because he did graffiti with us. So
Okay,
because
okay,
he
yeah.
did, because he did the artwork, um, he kind of like had to hang out with us, even though he, I guess, talked shit or did anything. But he would say it in front of our face, so it wasn't like something that was behind our backs. But
Hmm.
he would always tell us like, why you guys rollerblade? Why don't you guys skateboard instead? And we tell him the same thing. Why do you skateboard? Why don't you come rollerblade instead? I think till this day, I don't think he's ever rollerbladed or wanted to rollerblade. He still rides a skateboard.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I mm, you, I wouldn't go and like trying to start any shit with anybody, but we wouldn't back out too. Like if somebody would just, there was a remember. I remember one day that I went to a different city with a couple of friends, and these two friends they were skateboarders. Very good skateboarders in my city. But I used to work with one of them in this skate shop. I used to work in this skate shop back when I was a teenager, and this skate shop actually was a rollerblade like skate shop. I mean, it was an inline skate shop, but then eventually became a skateboarder, shop. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Skateboarding shop. So, but I still working there. So one of the guys that used to work there was a skateboarder. So we went to a trip we went to a trip to a different city, and then we went to this like public mini ramp, and it was full of skateboarders, and I was the only inline skater, you know. But
Yeah.
that time was 98, I remember, 1998. And I didn't give a shit, man. I don't like, I wouldn't like, I don't give a fuck. I'm a rollerblader and I don't give a fuck. And I was skating, skating, skating. And there was this guy that, a local dude, and he was a professional, you know. And then he wouldn't wait for his turn. He would
Right.
just cut someone, and he would just cut me all the time. He wouldn't cut the other people. He would just cut me, you know. He would just jump in front of me when it comes to be my turn. And there was one time that when he dropped me on my turn and I dropped in together. So we were both skating together on the ramp, and people start to say, "Hey, you gotta get off, Ray, you gotta get off, hey, Ray, you gotta get off." And I was like, "No, I didn't, you know, I didn't get off the thing." And we almost like got a collision.
Yeah.
And my two friends, skateboarders, they were pretty pissed with me. "Hey, man, like, don't do this sort of thing. I'm gonna get in trouble." I said, "I don't care what you're gonna get in trouble, man. You're gonna get
Yeah.
in trouble for what?
Yeah.
I'm the one doing that. Why you gonna get in trouble?" "Ah, because we are together." I was like, "Yeah, so
Yeah.
what,
Because you're
man?
my
Yeah,
friend. Yeah.
yeah." I was like, "That's such a stupid thing, right?" But then on that the same day, we went to a concert at night, and this guy who had cut me off, he showed up at this concert.
Yeah.
And I remember that I had a camera, like those cameras with film, because there was no digital at that time yet. So I
The
was taking
disposable. The
disposable.
disposable.
Oh, that was not disposable. It was just like a film camera,
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and there was no digital at that time yet. It was 90, yeah, 98. So I was taking pictures of the concert, and there was these people doing all this crazy shit, like all this crazy presentation with fire and then whatever. So I taking a lot of pictures, and then at the end, so this guy that was cutting me, it was like trying to, you know, start a fight with me early in the on that day. He came to me and just say, um can you give me your film, your reel, because I think you took really cool pictures, and can I have it? I'll pay you some money, I'll pay you for the film. I was like, no, fuck off. I just said like, yo, fuck off, man. Like, he didn't remember me, but I remember him. You know what I mean? That's
Oh
why, like,
shit.
yeah, he didn't remember me. Yeah,
You think if he remembered you, he would have asked you?
I don't know, but I'm sure he didn't remember me. I'm sure
Uh,
because he came to talk to me like he never seen me before and whatever. And when I say no, fuck off, he was like, wow. He was just really surprised, you know, like, what the hell, you know?
yeah. He probably didn't remember you.
No, he didn't. Yeah, but yeah, what I want to say, yeah, man, it's just like that time we didn't care much. But then there was a time that, like, it's I wouldn't care anymore if people just annoy me. I wouldn't get into fights and anything. I would just like ignore people, you know.
Yeah.
And but then just like went away. Now there is no problems anymore with that, you know. Didn't
Times
didn't
times have changed, right? I think because it was so new and everyone was just not used to being around each other, that's probably why things like that happened, right? And now that we've been around each other a little bit longer and skated around different sports, it's a little bit more natural to just see someone different.
Yeah, true, because I think that time, uh, uh skateboarding was the pioneer of the urban sports, you know. So they thought they being ripped off by other sports, whatever, if it's
Yeah.
rollerblading or scooter, whatever. And plus the attitude of the young people at that time was pretty rough, you know, I would say. They're not very friendly comparing to today.
Yeah.
So yeah, they didn't like much us. But now it's good. Now it's good. No complaints nowadays, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I think it's like a it's more like a enjoyable feeling than anything else nowadays when you go to skate. Like, it's funny because when I go to skate park nowadays and people see I'm skating and they're like, whoa, like what? These like young skateboarders, like 12, 15 years old. So
They never seen it. Yeah.
they never seen aggressive inline skate before. they thought like rollerblading was just like something that you do on, like as a
Yeah.
recreation. So when they see someone doing grinds and jumps, they're like, "What?" They go nuts, man. They're like, "What the fuck?" They see this like, yeah, they go nuts. They're like, "What? No, no. How do you do that? Like, let me see your skates." And then the other day, I have this like small Brian Aragon SLs that I don't use because used to be my son used to wear them, but then
Yeah.
he grew and then it doesn't fit him anymore. So there was this little skater girl that she used to always talk to us, like me and the other guys. They used to that doing like skating the skate shop and this skate park. So there was this skateboarder girl that would just come along and just talk to us. I don't know why. She's very friendly. She talks to everyone, and she would talk to us maybe because we are foreigners. So she just was very curious and always talking to us. And then one day she tried one of our friend's skates and she liked it and she was pretty good, man. She just really have the sense of like transitions
Flow.
and doing, yeah, because she's a really good skateboarder actually.
Nice.
And then I asked her, "Do you want to skate?" And she said, "Yeah, I want." And then next day I brought her my skates, this one that I'm talking about, this SLs. And then she's been using. She goes to the skate park. She brings both like skateboarding and the skates that I gave her, and then she's getting good at skating. So yeah, just
Nice.
because they didn't know that was possible to skate like that. They thought that was just like just something, just a toy. They
Or
thought
like
that
you say,
skate.
because they never seen it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they never seen it. Yeah, so because they never seen it, so they have no like a that discrimination that's being,
Right.
you know what I mean. So they
They
just
have
see as
not
a toy.
gotten fed that. It's not in their mind.
Yeah, but old skaters over here, they still have it, man, because there's a lot of skate parks here that they don't allow inline skates.
Yeah.
Public, yeah, a lot because they're being built by skateboarders. Do you have the same problem in the US? Because I know the Venice skate park, they don't allow scooters, but I don't know if they don't allow inline skates or
Oh
BMX.
no. In Venice, it's cool. Um, there there's everybody skates there nowadays. I don't recall seeing any scooter people in there, but I have seen like skateboarders, quad skaters, inline skaters. Um, it's acceptable, it everybody's just there skating.
Hmm.
Um, it's wild. That park is wild, Lalau. Like
Yeah,
there is
it's out of control there. It's
there's
out of
so much
control.
so much activity in that park, man. It's intimidating at times just to like even want to jump in and do anything because there's so much skill level, with the different sports, whether they're in bikes, BMXing, or they're in quad skates, or they're in skateboards. That man, they're so good. Like everyone just brings so much to the table that it's like wow. Like let me just watch, let me just admire. And what's cool is like I've seen um I've seen rollerbladers or quad skaters that have cameras take photos of a BMXer or a skateboarder.
Hmm.
Everyone's just out there enjoying that time,
Yeah.
and aside of the little skate park, there's also like a small rink per se, like a skating rink where people just go out there and like just free flow. They're just flowing on their skates and just enjoying the time.
Yeah, it looks like that. All the videos that I've seen, but I think I saw not long ago. I saw a video of a scooter guy that yeah, went to Venice and he had a problem one time, but the second time he didn't. But because there is a sign say there are no scooters, but nobody
Right.
cares. Yeah, but nobody cares. They keep skating. The thing is, there is a sign that say no scooters or no whatever, but as is it's a public uh, park, so
Park,
no one
yeah.
gonna tell you, hey, you cannot skate here. But here in Japan, there is someone will come and just no let you. They don't let you skate.
Wow.
Even yeah, man, it's so strange. I've been to some public skate parks that it's just like there's no one skating, and you just go to skate there, and it's like no inline skaters. You just and you ask why, they say no because that's the rules, and then you keep asking why, but what's the problem? Like I'm not gonna break that thing, you know. This is like plastic and urethane, you know. This not gonna I'm not gonna break the skate park, and they keep saying that no. So it's pretty much the the who made the skate parks, probably the skateboarders, you know, like I don't know.
Yeah. Is it true that in some places it's illegal to skate in Japan?
Basically, skating on the street here on main roads, it's illegal to skate. Yeah, it's
Wow.
not because it's a skating; it's just anything in order, even bicycles as well. Some main roads, you
Oh,
know, and then if you go to small roads, they don't allow anything that it's bicycle. The rules or the laws are a bit like you know what I mean. It's a bit like it's not so clear, so you cannot say
yeah.
like oh but see whatever. It's very strict to skate in like Tokyo. Very strict. You're gonna get stopped just by skating on the street. I've been stopped by skating on the street many times.
Wow.
Just by skating, just going to point A to point B, just people stop you, say you cannot skate here. Just because there's a lot of people around and they don't want you to hurt anybody. But when I used to skate a little bit far from Tokyo, more on the skirts of Tokyo, and then I didn't have any problem. Maybe just once or twice that the police came to talk to me for no reason, asking my ID and all this shit just because I was skating along the river.
Wow.
But it's very yeah. Over here, if you do street skating here, it's just like a you don't go to a spot and just kind of camp there. All your mates looking at you doing the grind, everybody like it cheering. Now you gotta be there. You gotta be look like you gotta pretend that you're not doing anything and just like you just go and just do straight trick, you know, when it's nobody's like, yeah, it's like that, man.
Yeah, I've heard Soichiro comment like that, or actually it was JP from Butter
Yeah,
TV. He was saying
yeah,
that stuff like that. How it just like you said, you have to just go do it and leave.
yeah. You're gonna get in trouble. I mean,
Wow.
police or security or even the people passing by, they'll stop you. They'll annoy you. Actually, the problem that I had when I was skating uh, one day that with the police was I was skating right, and then all of a sudden the police stopped me and they asked me for my ID, and I gave it to them because he as a foreigner you have to show your foreigner card, right? You have to have with you all the time, and then if they ask you, you have to provide that. So, which is strange because I could be a Japanese with a white face, you know, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you know what I mean, you know, because
I
like
know
my
what you
kids, you
mean.
know, my
I know
kids
what you mean.
they are Japanese, but they don't look Japanese. But anyway, so they can ask you that, and you have to provide just by the way you look. So so I gave it to them, and they were like, "Oh yeah, because we have a complaint. Somebody complained that you're being skating on the streets." I was like, "Yeah, because I'm going back home, so I'm skating, you know, along the road here." I was skating along the road,
Yeah.
and probably somebody that drive past or somebody on the street, a pedestrian, didn't like that. I had big
Wow.
wheels. I was not doing tricks. I had big wheels just going home from somewhere.
Yeah,
Somebody
yeah.
didn't like it. Yeah, somebody didn't like it, and then yeah, then it's crazy, man. It's pissed me off because you know the Japanese scene. It's very steady. It's never never was strong. It's been around for a long time since the beginning. You know, Mizu and Makio, like I said before, but it was never big, a very big scene. And I think because there is no room for recreation on skates. There is a room for you being professional, like a racer or maybe slalom, where there is specific place for you to practice that. or aggressive, but there's no place for you to just to hang around. Oh, I'm just gonna put my skates and skate here, like an urban style or
Yeah.
recreation style. You won't find places like that. Just to move from, like I say, from point A to point B, and that's basically where all the what moves the inline skate like industry is the urban and the recreation. When it comes to numbers, and that's why they don't have that here in Japan because of all these stupid laws. Like nobody just skates for fun here. If they're gonna
Yeah.
skate, they're gonna really do something. They really gonna go and just like be professional in something. But for that, they have specific places. Street is very difficult here. Yeah,
Right.
very difficult.
Yeah, so growing up and when we used to skate in the street, most of the time we would get in trouble by the police too. Like they wouldn't let us skate. I think it was till later 2000s or early 2000s. I remember a time skating and looking at a police like waiting for them to say something to me, and they
Mhm.
didn't say nothing. And then I was like, "Are you not gonna say nothing?" And they're like, "No, keep skating. Keep doing your thing." I'm like, "You're not gonna give me a ticket?" And they're like, they didn't. I think they stopped caring, or it, at one point I think it was a big revenue. Like the more tickets they gave, the better it was for the city or for the county. So they need to give tickets out, but
Oh,
eventually it
they can
just,
give you tickets
yeah,
for what?
yeah.
Tickets for what? What does it say in the ticket? Like
Well,
what's the
you're
what's
if
the
it says like no rollerblading or no
Oh, I see,
skating,
see, I see, I
you
see, I see.
know,
Okay,
or they can
that's
make
not.
some
Yeah,
they can
I
make
see.
something up. They can make something up, trespassing or
Trespassing.
a
Okay.
loitering, something that's probably dumb that you're not doing, but like you said, the laws kind of like, you know, they're not so clear, or
Yeah,
they can intertwine or mix them up or and be like, "Ah, he was trespassing or he was loitering or
yeah,
anything like that." But
yeah. He
yeah,
was
it
doing something dangerous. Yeah, that's it.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, after a while, I guess it just went away and then, you know, it was okay to skate.
yeah. Over here, it's pretty hard. You have to look for places where you can actually skate freely. We do some like night skating along the
Yeah,
along the river, uh, where we know that along the river, like the patrols car don't come much because there is no much people uh like driving. There is not much people. You know what I mean? But
yeah.
mm, mm, I had a problem just once. The policeman just came and just say, "You cannot skate here." And although I don't have shoes on me, I just have my skates. But he wanted me to take the skates off, and I was like, "I don't have shoes. I don't have shoes. What am I gonna do? And I just kept saying that, and finally he just let me go. But it's pretty annoying, right?
Yeah. Were you by yourself?
Yeah, that time I was by myself. It was during the day, that's why. But at night, no problem. During the day,
Right.
you're gonna have a problem. Yeah, for sure. In the middle of Tokyo, for sure you're gonna have a problem. Yeah.
Yeah. And when you skate out like with the group, like how many people are on the group at night? When
Oh,
you like, let's say you go out at night by the river.
we're between 5 to 10.
Okay.
Yeah, not much. Not a lot. If you will go over than that, you cannot skate on that river where I was. For sure, you're gonna have a problem.
You
You
get
have
in
to go.
trouble. Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna have to go somewhere far. Yeah, somewhere where even though we went to a place one day, we went to this like really massive river. It's almost a bay. This place in East Tokyo where there are places like that. East Tokyo is more flat
Right.
and more like open areas. So we went to this place, and there's this huge like a sidewalk where it's people use to do like all sort of activities and go along this river for like miles, or kilometers. Like I would say like 10 to 20 kilometers. So you can really go further straightforward skating or cycling, or just walking. But seems like these places people use more for cycling, like to
Yeah.
train the professional cycling things. You see guys wearing like glasses and those
Yeah. The suits.
the suits,
Yeah.
and really taken serious. and we were just skating along and just having fun. And then these guys would the guys were cycling. They didn't like it. We didn't do anything wrong. We just skating. We didn't jump. We didn't do any grinding. Everybody had big wheels. We were just skating forward, just together with them.
Yeah.
And then so in their mind, they think that we're gonna do something wrong, so they're gonna prevent that. That's what the Japanese mentality. It's not about if you did something wrong. It's about what you can do.
Okay,
So
I get you.
they're trying to stop that. As soon as they see something that, oh no, that can be a problem, so they try
Yeah.
to stop that. Yeah, and that pisses me off a lot. Yeah, that's pretty fucked up. But so that's why I used to skate a lot of street skating far away from Tokyo. But now that I live pretty close, like right in the middle of Tokyo, I'm just like 20 minutes walk from that famous cross, in Shibuya. So
Mhm.
that's pretty busy area around here. So I stopped skating street, like I mean aggressive street, just skating like park. And on the streets, I just skate mostly big wheels. Yeah,
I think we jumped into another video.
we did nickel and
Ni-
dime,
Nickel and dime.
nickel and
Shout out
dime. Yeah,
Nickel and Dime.
yeah.
There's
Another
that's
another.
a skate shop. That's a skate shop out here in Los Angeles. Nickel and Dime, L.A.
That's Matt Andrews, right? Matt Andrews. Yeah, I used to have his Solomon skates. I had the Solomon skates too. That he said
Non-UFS.
that was not new. Yeah, that was my first one, the beige one, the
Yeah,
ST90s or ST9. I don't remember the name.
ST9. ST8
ST9.
and ST9, I think, were two of the models. One was gray and one was beige.
I think one was blue. No, I think the gray was. I think the very two ones, but one was blue with the blue, and the other one was beige. I'm
Hmm.
almost sure. And the gray one is the very first UFS, which was the iron fiber pro model Solomon. Yeah. What's up, Eugene? You know Eugene from Taiwan, skating after 40s.
I don't think so.
I think we did a live conversation with him, and he skates in Taiwan and still ripping at the age of 40, what, 48? Is that 48, Eugene? I think it's 48. Yeah, it's ripping in the streets of Taiwan at 48.
Wow.
And he
Respect.
oh, like a GTA, like Grand Theft Auto respect, respect plus,
Yeah, for sure, man.
that's huge respect. Yeah, man. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, he said, yep, 48. Yeah.
48. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah,
Sheesh.
just go on your YouTube and just put like skating after 40. You're gonna see. I haven't I haven't seen much of your videos, Eugene. You gotta put some more, man. Right. So how are you with time? You good? You wanna
I'm
keep
good.
going?
I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good. Yeah.
Let's well, now we are 1 hour and 43 minutes of good conversation, and we can keep going until complete 2 hours, and then I think we're good.
All right. All right. Fine.
Yeah. How
Yes.
how often you skating nowadays?
Um, not as often. Mainly like just maybe once a week. I go out with this night skate crew out in um out in San Bernardino. Um,
Mm-hmm.
as the leader is George. George at Night Skate Shop. Shout
Mm-hmm.
out George. He usually puts a skate off every Thursday. So there's anywhere from like 20, 30, 40, 50 people sometimes just out there skating for some miles. Other than that, it's just like home skate. I'll set up like a P rail and just skate at home. Or like I said earlier, if I gotta go to the store or something, I use that as an excuse to just put my skates on. Um, it's cool,
That's great.
man. I like the satisfaction sometimes when I go out and I see people like looking. They'll look at me or they'll look at my skates. or sometimes people will comment and say like, I used to rollerblade, or I used to skate, or that's fun. Or if I remember one time I saw a older lady with a kid. I think it was a grandmother. I could be mistaken, but
Mm-hmm.
I heard her say, "Oh, mijo, do you want to skate like him?" And he was like, "Yeah." So all those little things that when I go out, I think are just cool. More than the satisfaction of actually skating myself, because that's awesome. It feels really great just being out and rolling. Whether I have big wheels or I have the aggressive skates or aggressive frames,
Mm-hmm.
it's always just fun being out there and exposing it. Just seeing or having other people see what I am doing. I think that's just really cool. So
Yeah,
once,
sorry, go ahead.
yeah, so it's like at least once a week that I skate. Although I would like to go out more often, but like I said, I'm in a position where like I either have to go really far east or really far west. So it's
Mm-hmm.
kind of it's kind of hard sometimes. Although I do sometimes try to go to like the first Sundays, like the ones that Rashard does. There's one that's really close to me. So the one in Chino Hills that he does, that's the one I like to go to because it's closest to me. They also have that Tustin Thursdays, or Tustin Skate Park is a real famous skate park that a lot of rollerbladers have been just hanging out there.
Mm-hmm.
OC Rolling is in charge of that, and Item Clothing Brand is really involved in that too. They whatever funds they get, they put it back into that same event days that they have, whether it be to like make new shirts or like just have some food there to eat after the skate. So there's a lot of activity, Lalo, that I really would like to be more part of. But
Mm-hmm.
sometimes time, money, and transportation sometimes will limit
Yeah,
those
yeah.
types of things. But I would definitely like to be more in those, and send clips out to you and out to Chanka. Kind of like a reporter type of deal. Just to keep that connection going, and just you know have that.
Correspondent. Yeah, just like, yeah, sending. That'll be great, man. We'll be more than happy to that to
Yeah.
do for you to do that. Yeah. This
I,
one that Russia does. You say that's not in only in one place. It does in different places. You say.
yeah, it's in different places. Like let's say there's 12 months right in the year, and each Sunday or each month there's one. So there's 12 different places that they go to. Sometimes
Mm-hmm.
they repeat. Like I know they come to the Chino Hills 2 times a year, sometimes maybe three times a year, but it's in
Mm-hmm.
different places. This last one was supposed to happen up in Mammoth. That's where like the snow is at. So there's like
Mm-hmm.
camping out there. Mammoth Camp and
Okay.
Blade, I think it's called. He couldn't make it out there this last time, so there was no first Sundays. But that is where it was supposed to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they've also done one in San Diego in Chula Vista. I have not been able to go to that one, but yeah, it changes. It changes all the time. It's not always in one place.
That's cool because I thought it was in the same place. But yeah, that should. Have you been to one of them before?
Yeah, yeah. I've been to the one up here in Chino Hills two times.
It looks so fun. It looks great vibe.
Oh man, it's awesome because it's not just about tricks, tricks, tricks. There's families out there. There's mothers, there's daughters, there's grandmothers, grandfathers, little kids, babies, anywhere from like newborns to 70, 80 years old, just having a good time. And we're all there because of one thing, and it's because of rollerblading. So, you know, uh, yeah, it's the vendors, there's the food, the banger tacos. Shout out to Michael Bedoza and the banger tacos. Everyone loves his tacos, man. So it's not just like I said about going out there and having the expectation that I'm gonna go do a trick. Sometimes I don't
Hmm.
you don't even have to put your skates on. You could just go and have a great time just being around like-minded people, you know? So it's really,
Mhm.
really awesome that Richard does this stuff. And it just brings the community together in a way that like you wouldn't come together if you just went to the skate park to do tricks. You know, because there's different things that are happening, it just gives it a whole different vibe. It's really cool, man. It's really cool.
It brings people more to it brings people together more, like, the way you're saying, like the way it is, it just push people to talk to each other, and then it's more like a event kind of
Yeah. Yeah,
vibe than
because
actually like a session.
yeah, you get to meet your friend, the rollerblader. You get to meet his wife. You get to meet his kids. You get to meet
Hmm.
his mother sometimes. You know, shout out the Rodriguez family. Mama Rodriguez's hugs, man, they're the most beautiful hugs ever. You know, and she's just like such a nice person. I think the first time I met her, she didn't know who I was. I didn't know who she was, but she just gave me a hug anyways. You know, it's like
Yeah.
open hug, and it's like just to have yeah, man, just to have that type of feeling or that type of friendships or those types of people around just makes rollerblading so much more special, you know, rather than having an expectation like, okay, Lander, what trick are you gonna do today? And I'm like, man, like maybe no trick, you know, maybe a disappear. I'll do a disappearing trick. But yeah, just having all these different souls, these different vibes, different people out there, Lalau, is just it's awesome, man. It's almost like the events where Rage is at, where Marco is doing his stuff, you know, and I see that, man, there's so much energy in those events that Rage goes to, you know,
Yeah.
like you see the people, you see the smiles, you see the crowd just all coming together and everyone cheering or everyone singing a song, man. It's beautiful, man.
Yeah, he was telling me that every event is just like it's a big party. It's a huge party. And Brazilians like parties, so like
Carnival.
carnival. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, yeah. I gotta go to Brazil, man. Like, it's been a while. I mean, last time I went there was last year, but I gotta go again. Yeah, I gotta go again. Before, when I went there last year, I didn't. Yeah, I had Chanka had started yet, but I yeah, I need to go back to Brazil and go to one of these contests, because the contests in Brazil, it's really good. And that's one of the things that I wanted to say, because why me and Fred start Chunker, because I think Brazil is just a special scene, special industry, but so far apart from everyone, because of, like, maybe because of, like, the language barrier, or the currency is pretty, like, the Brazilian money is pretty weak against the dollar, and also, like, the culture barrier. So it forces Brazil to be apart from everywhere else. And then, but anyway, we keep, like, skating and evolving, and but just looking, getting inspiration from inside. But it's a really strong scene in Brazil, man. Really strong. During the golden days, there was so much people skating in Brazil, man. In the 90s, there was so many people, just way more than maybe in US, because Brazil has numbers, a lot of people.
Yeah, more
Brazil,
people. Yeah.
population is huge, like, not as much as the US, but when people like something, they really do like something. You know what I mean? They really like, they do everything for it. And when it comes to events in Brazil are crazy, yeah, for sure, for sure,
A,
yeah,
a lot of the young people in Brazil right now are doing such a great job, man. You know,
yeah,
like like the last episode you guys had with the kids, man. Like I was blown away. I was blown away with so much confidence that they have inside of them. When you ask them something and they just responded like, "Yeah," and I'm like, "What? Just like that? Just yeah?" Like you see that confidence, man, and it's like, wow, you know, like
yeah, yeah. I wasn't like that at that age at all. I was
me
like,
either.
"Don't talk to me."
I would have probably not even gotten on camera, you know. So it's just so amazing to see the young generation in Brazil just taking it, you know, and absorbing it, making it themselves theirs. You know, they're making it their own and putting their own style. You know, like
Dude, we're gonna have a really strong scene in like 5 years. You'll be like top skaters in Brazil in 5 years. Like because the majority are now like 10 to 15. So when
yeah,
they complete like 20, when they're fully grown, and even the girls as well, like really good girls. I think more girls skating than boys, in Brazil.
Ana
With
Julia. Ana Julia is one, right?
yeah, yeah. Her
Ana
nick,
Julica. She
everyone's called her Julika. Julika.
Julica,
Or
Julica.
I think it's Julika. Yeah, Julika. I think so. I think that's
She
her nick.
she's really good.
Off. Yeah. Double backflips, man. Yeah.
Enzo, man,
And
that kid is. Whew,
style, pure style, man. I just love just to see him rolling, just to see him he just coming to do the trick is already fuck. Look at the
and he's
style,
so
yeah.
calm. He looks so
Yeah,
calm
yeah,
in his
yeah.
persona. You know.
True, yeah. It's so cool to see like the new generation coming up because you see them like evolving and getting better.
Yeah,
And well, Danilo, I mean, he's just full grown now. He's already
he's
like
a monster.
we call him Máquina,
La Máquina,
La Máquina, yeah, in Brazil, yeah, that's
the
his nickname.
machine,
The
bro.
machine, yeah.
He's
It's
amazing,
like
man.
it's like what's his name? Hang on, I'm gonna remember. Sasha Vujacic from the Lakers, the machine. Do you remember?
Mm,
Did you like the Lakers?
I
I
do,
mean,
I do. I'm a Lakers
yeah,
fan.
yeah. In 90, I mean 2000 I would say 10. I don't know when. Yeah, Kobe got the ring without check, so they
Okay,
had Sasha, and then
La
Sasha
Máquina.
Vujacic, he was the machine. Yeah. But
Yeah,
anyway, yeah, man, music name is Machine.
yeah. Danilo, man. It doesn't amaze me to see his stuff. It just gets me like, wow, like, like how, why, where?
He has to do most. I mean, okay, not that he has to, right? But now he's looking into the professional world of skating. So when it comes to that, he gotta open up his mind more about different types of skating. He should not only stay on skate parks, because we all
Yeah,
know. Unfortunately, we all know, like if you're just a skate park skater, like just a competition skater, it's hard for you to get a sponsored, or even a pro boot.
yeah,
You have to do some street skating, and the proof is like a Takeshi Asutoko, just a half piper, the best half piper ever, half pipe skater ever, and Fabiola. I mean, Takeshi took me how long? 25 years to have a pro model,
yeah.
or something like that. Fabiola never had one, and you're talking about one of the best, those two, the best half pipe skaters ever, you know. In a lot of skaters, they just compete. They don't have much recognition in our sport, maybe because they don't sell skates. Because when comes when it comes to put your name in a product, it's more than what you can do. It's more than your skills. It comes with attitude and style as well. People wants to
Mhm.
be like you, kind of. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's not only about your skills. So I think, yeah, Danilo, he got to learn about that too. If he stays only on park, I don't know, man. I don't know how far he can, how long it's gonna take for him to get a skate, pro skates. Because yeah, he's crazy. He's pretty good. A lot of potential.
yeah,
Did you see
yeah.
that? The sorry, what are you going to say? Go ahead.
No, no, no. I was not. Go ahead.
Now I just was going to say about the Leonardo Ben 10.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Did you see? He
I
he's
just, yeah, I just saw his stuff.
that, yeah. That's the style that everyone has to. He's just 20. He just turned 20 the other day. 20 years old. Yeah,
Wow, wow.
yeah. Full on. Yeah, full on. Beautiful style, man.
Y-
Beautiful style. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw the video he just put out with with Rage.
Yeah, he did
Yeah, the video
the
he did with
promo.
Rage. Yeah, that was good. That was good.
Yeah, man, and it seems like everything comes easy for him, and he has really good style. He put some effort in his style, so yeah, I think he soon he's gonna get a. I don't know what kind of sponsorship he's gonna get because right now he's under Razors uh, as a flow,
Hmm.
but it's hard to tell about Razors company, right? If they really gonna
Yeah.
invest in you right now, right? People just like I don't know. It's good to
Well,
get it's
I don't think they're going anywhere.
true. Yeah, it's strange, right?
Yeah.
They it's strange. You cannot. Yeah, I don't think they like you say. I don't think they go anywhere. They're just happy to be like that right now. They're
Yeah.
just happy to be the.
Regardless of anything that's happened or being said, like they're still selling skates. Like they're still selling skates. So that's why I say I don't think they're gonna go anywhere. Like it wouldn't make sense for them to not do anything anymore. It's like just keep selling the skates. Just keep selling the skates.
Sure. Spooky gotta go. Spook.
Thank you, Spooks.
Gotta them spooks. Thanks, man.
Don't forget
Appreciate.
to hit the like and subscribe, Spooks.
Thanks, man. But the razors thing is just like they have really good skates and a good price. That's why really really
I
good
I've
skate.
yet to buy me a pair of Colts. I want a pair of Colts.
I had before. The problem with the coats, they're very narrow for me. I have like wide feet, so
Mm,
I cannot wear comfortably like my size, like 8.5 or 8 on coats or roses because they're very narrow. So I have to get one size up, and then it's just too big. One size up, not big in the front. You know what I mean? Like just a lot
yeah.
of space in the front. So I had coats before, and they glide perfectly. Yeah, they're just a perfect gliding skates. They just the cuff is pretty soft. The boot also is soft. So when you bend to do like groove tricks, not only the cuff bends, but also the cuff bolts on the shell bends that part.
Mm.
But but at the same time gives you a good support. It's not like so wobbly. It's a good and it's a good combination of support and flex. It's hard to explain.
No, I get it. I get it.
And the soul plates, man, is the fastest soul plates I mean, not the fastest. It's just the most cons- constant grinding soul plate. I would say it's more like a. It's 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 not those soul plates where you do a grind, it just goes really fast, and sometimes it doesn't, depending how you put your body position. You know what I mean? Like I have this USD 7 skates
Yeah.
on I mean the plates on my USD carbons. So I have these plates, and they do slide pretty fast, but sometimes depending how you put your body position, it just doesn't. I don't know why. Like halfway when you grind, it just stops sliding. It's not a constant grinding. That's what I mean
Mm.
to say. It's not a
Yeah. Yeah.
constant slide.
Yeah.
But with the coats, I mean, with those soap plates, coats or SL as well, they have a really constant like sliding. It's just like it slides smoothly and just constant. So you always know how it's gonna grind, how it's gonna slide. Yeah, that's the
Nice.
difference. I think. Yeah, with the soul as well, with the soul plate, with the I mean groove, with the groove grinds, it's the same. Yeah, so you don't have problems with that. Yeah, that's the difference, I guess. Yeah,
So after you said this, I might have to put a Colt sole plate on my them skates boot.
there is a new one, right?
I'm gonna put the sole plate, the Razor sole plate with my boot, with the them skates boot.
Yeah, try it because there is a new cold soul plate. I don't know if you've seen it, but
Oh no.
there is a new one.
Oh, I did see it. A one piece. It's a one piece.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's yeah, man. Try it. Those soap plates now that it's the one piece soap plate, yeah, you should definitely try those soap plates. They're really good,
Hmm.
really really good. One of the best, if not the best. Yeah. So yeah, I never seen something that slides so well as like that as those ones. I the only problem, yeah, like I said, it's just like it doesn't fit my feet well. So I gotta go for something more like wide, you know. I never tried them skates though.
Really?
Never put them in. Yeah, never tried them at all.
Yeah, I think if you ever do, you're gonna use the small because what you're saying
Yeah.
about your size is almost the same thing for me. Like
Mm-hmm.
if I'm a 8.5, 8.5, or 9, depends the style. But
Mm-hmm.
if I like I have the Genesis and it's a I think it's a 8 to 9, but the boot is big. Like the shell
Mm-hmm.
itself is big. I think I can fit one smaller, maybe, because it feels like it's big.
On them skates you're talking about?
No, on the Genesis, on the Razor's
Genesis.
Genesis, yeah, it's like a
Okay.
8 to 9 shell,
Yeah.
and that the shell itself, it just feels big. But like on the them skates, you're going to use a small
Yeah. That's what I thought.
because
Yeah, my friend, he's have the same size feet as me, and he uses small them
yeah,
skates.
yeah, that's what I got because the medium was too big. Unless you get the new one, the Schmedium. The Schmedium, I think, is supposed to be just a size 9, like a flat 9.
It's in between small and medium, right?
Yes,
It's medium, yeah.
a
I
Schmedium.
think I'm more like a small because I'm like a 8 and 8.5.
Yeah, yeah, me too.
I'm I'm 26.3 centimeters my feet, so it fits like that, like 8 and 8.5. So yeah, uh, I guess 9 is like 27 and 26.5. So 26.5 is 8. I'm kind of just before 26.5. So yeah, I'm more like a 8.5. Yeah,
Yeah, 8 1/4.
8.25. Yeah. That's why I like the metric system, man.
Yeah,
It's more
right.
precise, right? Yeah, more precise for sure. Yeah, so you don't have trouble, you know. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, but yeah, I gotta try some damn skates. Yeah, for
they're
sure.
fun, man. They're fun. I'm telling you, that was the only reason why I came back because of Julio.
Oh, that. Oh, yeah, I didn't tell the story about Julio. Like, so I was working in Australia. You know, you know where is that big skate park, the Blue Bowl, where CJ skates a lot, and
Yeah.
then also, yeah, that's a Bondi Beach skate park.
Okay.
So I used to live there, and also I used to work in this restaurant just by the main roads, the beach road they call the Campbell Parade, which is just the road just in front of the beach. They go along the bridge, right? So I used to work in this like shop called Nando's. Do you have Nando's there?
I don't think so.
Nando's is like a McDonald's but only for chicken. It's like a KFC but not fried.
Oh no.
Not fried, not frozen. That's what the slogan is, like, not fried, not frozen, like fresh and whatever.
Yeah, we
But
don't have
anyway,
Nando's.
Nando's is beautiful, man. But anyway, so I used to work at Nando's. This place, it's like a fast food. So I was working in the kitchen, just like grilling, putting the chicken on the grill. And when you get ready, you put the plates through this little window, the
Yeah,
size of a monitor, just the place where you can see outside.
yeah,
But you put the plate in the window. So when I was putting the plate through the window, I can see outside, right? I can see the front of the restaurant, and I can see the streets. And I just saw like fucking John Julio, man. When I, I was putting the plate there, I was like, "Fuck no way, that's John Julio." And when I was looking, like I just I I literally thought that that's not John Julio, man. That's not John. And then when I was saying like that's not John Julio, Blake Dennis just walked in. You know, Blake Dennis. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
just walked in. It was like that's fucking John Julio and Blake Dennis, and just went.
Were they walking?
They was just they're just walking and looking around. Maybe they're looking for places to eat. So I
Yeah.
don't know because just and I just storm outside, man. I just left the plate there. I gave him a fuck, you know. Went outside with apron and shit with gloves, Hey
And what'd
John,
you say?
John, just
Yeah.
hey John, John. And he kind of just what the fuck, because I came in like yeah, it's yelling his name, it's screaming his
Yeah.
name, and I'm Carlos, man, from Brazil. I'm skater from Brazil, and then I couldn't speak much English that time. Like it was just like Barry could speak English, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much was just yeah. And then cool, and then we talk a little bit, and then but he had to leave, and then he said like, oh, I gotta go back, but we're gonna skate at the skate park later on. Come by. I was like, cool, and then I went back to the restaurant, and then I supposed to finish my shift, until like 9, until at night. And I said, "No, I'm feeling bad. I gotta go home." And it's like,
You went,
and I
did you go
like,
skate?
no, I didn't have skate with me that time.
Oh.
Uh, I was changing skates. I remember. I didn't have skates on me. I sold my skates to buy new ones. I remember. And then I went there to the skate park. But then start raining, man. And I was like, oh shit. So, but everyone was there. I was Jaron Grove was uh, Blake Dennis, John Julio, and Sam Fogarty. You remember
Chef
Sam
Fogarty.
Fogarty?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, he was that too. Like all cool guys, man. We talked to them a lot, and then but no one skates. So and it started raining, so they just left. And I was like, oh fuck. Like, it was a fun interaction. Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
how random is that? You just like I had no idea because there's time 2003 I think or 2002
And this is in
2000
Australia?
yeah in Sydney Australia, yeah. So there was
Wow.
no internet, there was nothing, so you had no idea people would come. You had no idea at all. They're like, and in Australia far as fuck, like who how I would think that John Julio would come to Australia, man. So when I look at that through the window and just see like fucking John Julio, I was like, what the fuck, man?
That's pretty crazy, man.
Yeah, I couldn't believe. I didn't believe. Yeah, that's why I say I didn't believe. I wouldn't go outside if it was just him. But then I saw Blake Dennis. Oh yeah, that's fucking John Julio and Blake Dennis. You,
Well,
it's
so they were
impossible to
probably,
have a guy that looks like just like John Julio and just look like Blake Dennis. Here right now.
yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you
Sorry.
think they were writing for the rollerblade team?
No, that time John Julio was. Oh, they were USD.
Huh?
He was USD, but I think he didn't skate. I didn't. I mean, I don't know. I think he was there just to film.
Okay.
And Blake
Okay.
Dennis, yeah, yeah, more like that, like more like you know,
Yeah.
yeah. They have a really strong connection um with Australia, like John Julio, and then those back in the day guys. They have a really strong connection with Australia, so they keep coming back there, like just for traveling.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty. Australia is great, man. Great country, amazing country, skating and everything. Leave as well, dude. I think we're good.
All
What
right.
do you reckon? Let's do this
Sounds good to
again.
me. All right. I'm down. I'm down. You tell
No,
me. You tell me.
yeah, let's make this a constant, a constant collaboration.
I'd love it. I'd love it.
Let's keep watching movies and talk about skating. That's the best.
I love it. Let's keep this
And
connection going and keep our friendship and invite more people to come by and listen or talk or chat, suggest anything, man. It's been an honor, honestly, Carlos. It's been such an honor, and I can't thank you guys enough, just for opening the doors for me and just allowing me to be a part of you guys. I'll keep representing out here.
No, I'm the one to say thank you, man. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for everything. And yeah, let's keep doing this, man. Let's keep doing it. That's what we like to do, right? Talk about
Yeah,
skating.
yeah, for sure, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks everyone in the chat. Sorry for those ones that don't speak English. I think that's the time for you to learn, right? If you don't, right? Keep complaining like we put like CJ Wells more and then other episodes in English. And they're like, oh, when are you gonna put subtitles? I'm like, man, that's gonna take a while, but I think you better learn English.
Yeah, we're all learning, right? We're all learning the
Yeah,
same way that they might want to learn English. I'm learning Portuguese as well. So it's
yeah,
it's all
yeah.
it's all a learning experience. It's good for everybody.
And the good thing is that yeah, you fall in the whole chunker thing, chunker content in Portuguese, and you just commenting, and just like you know interacting.
Because I can understand maybe like 70 to 80%. Yeah, I'm
Mhm.
not I'm not completely lost in the conversation. I understand what you guys are saying, but it's like more when I yeah, I'd have to comment in English, but
Yeah, yeah,
it's awesome, man. It's awesome. It's a big learning experience, and more than learning, it's just bringing more people together, which I think is what it's all about.
exactly, man. I'm stoked that I can get to meet so many people. Like today, I met Renato, the guy who just friends of a guy that was on the live with us talking about like skating, and then he was live with he was on the chat, and he said his friend is coming to Japan, and then just met his
Yeah,
friend,
yeah,
and I took a picture with Renato and sent to this guy. Say, hey, yeah, your friend is here already. We're just having a drink, and it's like, oh, I cannot believe you guys already met. That's
yeah, yeah.
yeah, it's fun.
That's so cool. Yeah,
It is,
yeah.
man.
Definitely. Let's keep this going and let's keep it alive, man. Let's keep it alive.
Yeah, the next. Well, I'll figure out the next movie, but doesn't matter. And whatever movie we put on, we watch.
All right, man. Thank
Cool,
you
man.
again.
I appreciate, man. Thanks a lot. I'll see you, man. Tomala.
Tómala. All
Eh, Thank you, man. I'll
right.
talk to you. See you.
Bye bye.
Bye. Thanks, everyone. Até mais.